somehow Henry Cavill may be James Gunn's first Batman choice.
That's just the world we live in. So we got official confirmation. Well, not official confirmation, but confirmation nonetheless from our source at the camp, apparently is what it's being called. There was conversation about Henry Cavill in a recent interview that James Gunn did where he confessed that when Henry announced that he was coming back as Superman, that's the day that he and Peter Safran signed their contract, and they were left wondering what in the hell was going on. Now, apparently, Griffin and I were dead wrong. They did the gentlemanly thing, and they reached out to Henry. They met up with him in person, and they were like, look, we're sorry that this is all happening, but there was the conversation of whether Henry would join the new DCU. And Henry was open to it, apparently, according to James Gunn and Peter Safran. And there's been rumors that he could be our new Batman. We haven't paid any attention to any of those rumors because we hadn't heard anything.
It sounds like bullshit.
It does sound like it sounds like good bullshit, but it sounds like bullshit. So apparently, it's not bullshit. There's at least conversations about it over at Warner Brothers or DC Studios, whatever the hell it's called. They were having some sort of meetings, and Henry was brought up, and Gunn was asked about it, and Gunn said, "Yeah, we'd love to have him back. I mean, we've talked to him personally about several roles." They asked him what roles, and none of them were Kryptonian. He was never going to appear in Superman, which is cool because, as I told Griff, that's kind of like saying that you're not taking your kid to Disneyland, but you'll take him to the fucking park. It's kind of lame. But apparently, they flat out, somebody in the room, don't know who, the person that gave us the scoop is an assistant to someone there, asked him, is Batman on the table? And James Gunn said, sure. I mean, we haven't casted him yet. We don't have a script. Absolutely, it's on the table. It really pretty much depends on whether or not Henry's interested, which I think is kind of cool because, as I told Griffin moments ago, whether you like the dude as Superman or not, whether you agreed with his iteration, the guy was completely thrown under the bus by the previous powers that be at Warner Brothers. Guy's a good actor. I mean, he built up like no one's business to become Superman. And again, he looked the part. But they never really knew what to do with the character. And the way he was treated, the whole situation where The Rock, it was The Rock, let's be honest, brought him on and was like, yeah, dude, announce that you're back. The guy announced it on his Instagram page and how proud he was to come back. And then fucking the days later,
it's one of the biggest slaps in the face in Hollywood. That was insane.
I mean, no one deserves that, man. I mean, the guy was just treated like complete trash. So this would be, I'm not saying he's my first pick. In fact, I got two. I got shit, I blocked out.
Ben Barnes, number one.
And the dude from one of the Yellowstone sequels. Guy looks perfect. But if Henry got announced tomorrow, as I told Griffin, just based off of that, just because it would be the world's greatest comeback story, I'd be okay with him. He certainly looks the part, at least.
Yeah, okay. I am of two minds, and honestly, I was completely against it until I talked with Edward a little bit ago. I think Edward brings up such a valid point. The comeback story potential here is insane. Going from Superman being terribly mistreated to then Batman would be amazing. That would be such a fun story. I don't love him as Batman, if I'm being honest. Given what I would cast him as...
But you didn't love him as Superman. Because he essentially got the Arrowverse treatment where he was brooding, upset, depressed all the time, always looking down.
He could definitely do it. I have no doubt he can play Batman. I don't have a doubt. It's just, it's not who I picture. And especially for Batman, a lot of these roles, we always have a pretty clear idea of what we want in our mind, and no actor's going to fit it, especially Batman. No matter who's cast as Batman, someone's going to complain. It's going to happen. It's happened every single goddamn time. But Henry Cavill definitely has a physicality, fantastic actor. Even though most of his movies are honestly bad. Just gonna be honest.
We all saw Creature Commandos. Actor. We all saw that Batman silhouette. I mean, James Gunn keeps going on and on about how he won't commit to an image. He won't blah blah blah. Dude, you showed us a silhouette.
Henry could fit that silhouette. Henry could fit that.
100%.
It's just, so I guess my issue is, if I'm gonna see him on screen, I'm gonna see him as Superman, even if he's in a bat suit. He's gonna look like Superman to me.
Not to me. Not anymore. Not because of Henry, but because of David. Because now that I've seen Superman,
maybe it's just because we're currently in our DCEU run.
No, I'm already past that. I'm already.
I don't know. We'll see.
Once,
it could be the same exact thing that happened with Robert Pattinson. When you see him in the suit, then I'll be all good.
Because to me, David, and again, I'm not the biggest Superman fan here, but to me, David, when I saw him,
he rocked.
I remember even the first image that everyone bitched about. I was okay with that. I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's Superman. He's got that big ass. He said, yeah. Everybody was like, oh. You guys are all in love with him now, but you guys were all bitching when he was sitting in I think his living room. He's like on a couch. He's like putting on his boots and like shit's going on in the background. Everyone was bitching. I remember telling Griffin then, I was like, nah, I don't have an issue with this. I mean, that looks like Superman. So to me, David is, he's so like embedded in my mind as our new Superman that if I saw Henry as Batman, I would probably be able to buy into it pretty quickly. Again, nothing's been confirmed. He hasn't been cast.
He just has the most likely chance if he wants it. Same as like Ben Affleck. He was confirmed to have talked with James Gunn, was offered, hey, do you want to come back for Batman? Similar here with Henry Cavill. And directed,
and he was also offered some other stuff.
Yeah, same with Henry Cavill. If Henry wants it, Henry gets it. That's kind of how it goes at this moment. I don't know who, if not Batman, who else I'd want to see him as in the DC. Let us know who you would want him as DC, if not Batman. Or if you do want him as Batman, also let us know that. But
I don't think...
Do you have anyone you have in mind?
No, that's just what I was about to say. So, like, if he doesn't get cast as Batman, I'm not saying I want him as Batman. I'm trying to articulate this well. If he doesn't get cast as Batman, I can't think of anyone I want him as in the DCU. I don't want him as Deathstroke. I don't want him as... Again, I can't...
You know what would be kind of funny? I don't know if this is something that will ever happen. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? I know we had Ultraman in the first Superman movie.
I don't want... I know where you're going. No. No. I don't want that. But, you know,
what if they did like an Elseworlds where they have like Golden Superman and they did do Henry Cavill for that? They're never doing Golden Superman. But
I hope not. You know, it's James Gunn defended this best. He was like, look, I know that Jason was Aquaman in the previous iteration, but honestly, he fits this character better. We all know he's coming back as Lobo. So we knew that.
We knew that before James Gunn was cast. Signed.
And so, you know, if this happens, at the very least, it would be a great comeback story, and it would be really... And if he rocks it as Batman, he's really going to shut people up, man. So who the hell knows? He's not my first pick.
Not our second.
He hasn't been cast. Batman the Brave and the Bold is currently actively being written. James Gunn is heavily involved, according to him. It's come straight out of his mouth. You guys can go check that out. He said it in many interviews. He's right there with the writer. I still think he's the writer. He's right there with the writer, heavily involved. Let's get that shit rolling. Absolutely. No one's going to be cast until they have a script, according to James Gunn. But who the hell... I mean, he may already be in heavy conversations with a couple people.
He's definitely in conversation with the people, I have no doubt. And let us know.
But if this wouldn't be the first time some dude gets cast in a movie before the script's out. I mean, Avengers Doomsday, allegedly, the script is still being... The third act is still being pumped out.
I think that's bullshit, but that's a different video.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts, guys. Do you want Henry Cavill? And if not, we have a fan cast for the DCU Batman. And Henry is not in there because we never would have thought that shit would have happened. But does this sound... I'm curious as to what the ladies think.